Hi, I'm Rory. I'd like to present a bad idea, and this being a Python conference, it's a bad idea in Python. I work on a web app in Django, and I do a lot of the backend stuff and a lot of the infrastructure stuff. So setting up servers, backup scripts, all that noise, all that crud that you have to deal with when you own a server. And I have a big problem. I hate Bash. Every time I have to write a Bash script, it's a pain. Oh. It's every time there's a bug in a Bash script, I fix it, and I realize I haven't learned anything here. I learned some arcane rule about how Bash parses strings and double quotes, and I don't feel better about it. And it's just, oh, sorry? Except if you use test, and it fails, and set to X. Oh, and it's just these arcane rules, but one on top of the other over 20 years. And that's fine, but it's just, So I discovered something. sh, pip install sh, you can do it today. What sh does is amazing, and it's a really bad idea. What it does is, let's say, from sh import ls. When you write that and you type enter, what it does is, it looks in the sh module. Sh will look in your path for something called ls, wrap it around in a function, in a Python function with subprocess, such that you can call ls as a function. So when I say ls with the two parentheses, it opens subprocess, calls ls, takes the textual output, and returns it to you as a Python string, right? And as you can see, I have the output of ls with tabs separating. So I can take ls, split it by tabs, and suddenly I have a list of stuff that this command gave me, right? And I can munge that in Python, send that to Python libraries, get back what I want, and then run other commands through sh with that. For example, and if it fails, I get a nice error. It doesn't fail silently. I don't get an error code to check. I literally get a Python exception, which tells me, all right, subprocess crapped out. And also, ls told me, oh, this file does not exist. And go figure, right? I don't have to figure out spaces. It's ls was given one parameter, was actually literally given to the ls process, right? And it ran bin, ls, I don't exist. You get the full path to it. So if there's some crud in your path and you don't know which executable getting calling, maybe multiple Python virtual envs, it'll tell you right away. And you can do more complicated stuff. From Git, I like outputting Git, passing it into different scripts. You give your parameters one at a time, status, porcelain, and you have the output, and it comes out nicely formatted. And I've been started using it. To come to the bad idea aspect of it, there's a lot of black magic happening. Right? It's not a Bash script. It's not the normal environment you're used to. Passing parameters and stuff, usually as long as this text is all right, they have support for passing, like, instead of like dash dash porcelain, I can do porcelain equal true, and I'll try to convert it back to scene. Sometimes it doesn't work. Most of the times it does. So just run it multiple times and figure out, code it that way, But I like it, and I get to parse out strings in Python, and that's so much easier than doing it in Bash. Thank you very much.
Actually, Rory, can you use plugged in for the next speaker?
Sorry?
Can you just leave it plugged in for the next speaker? He's going to use that same machine.
All right. I don't have any internet, and I don't have, and I have very little battery life.
It's Dan here. Do you need internet?
I can get on the net.
No Wi-Fi.
I might be able to get on.
In the meantime, does anyone have any fighting words for Rory? Sorry, we'll just repeat the question. So it was, what's the benefit of using sh as opposed to using a subprocess?
It's literally a wrapper over subprocess, but if you looked from sh import ls, it'll find you that executable, tell you right away if the executable doesn't exist. It'll parse your commands. It's just less overhead and more straightforward. So it's like subprocess.checkout. Is it check output? Or I never know like the functions inside subprocess to get the output of a function and get it nicely formatted, and get it to cache exceptions and show me the errors. So it's purely a helper wrapper. You could do everything you'd want to with subprocess. And if you're doing anything complex with signals and whatnot, you should be using subprocess. This is just a utility wrapper around it. I don't know, when you mean that, it'll find anything in your path. So if it has distribution-specific commands, it'll find anything in your path. I think like bash aliases, it'll just choke. But anything that's like a script or an executable in your path, it'll happily run, much like subprocess will, right? That's the underlying engine. So anything that works in subprocess, you can kind of expect in SH. It's a bit hacky. I don't know if you got that from the...